I think the hardest thing about this video is going to be resisting the temptation to sing. She's supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Needless to say, this is the musical theatre tag. I love watching people do this and I've been meaning to do it myself for a while, so I'm very excited to do this. I love musical theatre. I love musicals. They're my favourite kind of thing to go and see on stage, and I thought this would be a really fun way to kind of let you know which musicals I love, and of course I would love to know your answers to this. Easy now, hush love hush. The questions will of course be in the description, and the first one is the first musical you saw live. Excluding pantos, I think the first musical stage show that I saw was Wicked. I'm pretty sure it was Wicked. So to say that my first ever musical was a West End production is quite epic, and I love Wicked. Favourite musical you've ever seen? I'm going to answer these strictly from a stage perspective. There are many musical films I've seen, but my favourite musical I ever saw on stage was Sweeney Todd at the ENO with Emma Thompson as Mrs. Lovett. I still cannot get over that. I mean, I'm a huge diehard obsessed with Emma Thompson. Love her. Sweeney Todd's my all-time favourite musical, so that was fantastic. But I also want to give shout outs to Les Mis and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, both West End productions. Les Mis is phenomenal. Nobody can kind of argue against that, really. It's amazing. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory was great, but what I loved about it was the technical aspect. It was just so clever, so magical, and really probably one of the greatest things ever to be at Drury Lane Theatre. Favourite musical you've ever been in? I did quite a bit of acting when I was at school. I loved being on stage. But I think I've only ever been in 2 musicals that I can remember. One was Annie, which I now loathe because of that. It wasn't a bad experience, I just got so sick of the songs that I kind of don't like Annie anymore. And the other one is Carousel. I was just kind of an extra in the background when I was at youth theatre. The younger actors, ourselves, would kind of be background actors for the adult productions. So Carousel was interesting, kind of I don't really care for either of those musicals, to be honest. Favourite musical that you would like to see? This one, I have 2 answers for this one of which I'm just not making the effort with. I could go and see it tonight if I really wanted to, but I'm just really lazy, and that's Matilda. I really, really want to see Matilda, and I know that as soon as we get the kind of final call for it with its last remaining days, then I will push myself and go and see it. The other one is Mary Poppins. Mary Poppins is ridiculously hard to get tickets for. It is impossible. It is really expensive, and the seats, whenever I get round to seeing them, are rubbish. So the next time it comes near me, I'm jumping on it and getting good seats. I don't care how much it's going to cost me. I need to see Mary Poppins. Favourite score? 2 answers. The first one is Les Mis. Oh gosh, Les Mis is just, it's got the perfect music. It's so wonderful. And the second one is The Pirate Queen, which is all about Grace O'Malley. And shameless plug here, my second novel, Celestial Land and Sea, which was published in 2015, I think, is all about Granuaile, Grace O'Malley, and I listened to that musical soundtrack constantly when I was writing that, so it's kind of got that, I guess, emotional aspect for me as well. Favourite actor? This one's difficult to answer because there's not really any stage actor who I will go and see just because they're in something. Usually it's an actor I like from films or from TV who then do something on stage, and I think, yeah, I'll check that out. Obviously, Emma Thompson is the best person I've ever seen on stage. I've only seen her in 1 musical. I know she used to do a lot of stage plays in her earlier career. Kind of wish she still did because I love her. But I think Laura Michelle Kelly is fantastic. I watch her Mary Poppins clips all the time on YouTube. She's phenomenal. I don't think I've seen her on stage though. Not that I can remember. And Kerry Ellis. I would go and see anything that Kerry Ellis is in as well. What would be your dream role in a musical? Now, I can't sing, evidently, but if I were vocally awesome, I would have to be somebody in Les Mis. I don't know who, I just would love to be part of Les Mis. I love it. There's just something so uplifting about that musical. And Elphaba. Elphaba is love. I love Elphaba. The Wizard and I. Sorry. Favourite solos, duets and trios. My favourite solo, I think Elphaba in Defying Gravity, is kind of a duet because Glinda's in there a little bit, but Elphaba, when she's on her broomstick and she's just all powerful and all amazing and kind of really starting to turn quite nasty, I love it. And duets, I love Thenardier's. I just think they're so good. And also Elphaba and Glinda, they work well, so I kind of feel like those two are my favourite duet pairs. Also for solos, I love, is it called Shoes Upon the Table from Blood Brothers? I think that's what it's called. Now the Devil's Got Your Number, that's what it's called. And I also love Marilyn Monroe from Blood Brothers. When I saw it, it was Marty Pellow and Maureen Nolan, who is just wonderful. So I think those two are very powerful songs, and when sung right, absolutely incredible. Shoes upon the table, spider's been killed, someone broke the looking glass. Once I had an husband. Not only can I not sing, but I cannot do a Liverpudlian accent. That role would just be killed by me. Your favourite ensemble? My favourite ensemble is undoubtedly Les Mis, One Day More. It's one of my all-time favourite songs and I love it, and whenever I listen to it on my own in my room when no one can hear me, I sing all of the parts that I can. It's chaos, but it's perfect. And the last question, musical that changed your life. Without a doubt, this is Sweeney Todd. This is Tim Burton's Sweeney Todd. I watched that film and fell in love with Tim Burton and HBC, and after that my personality shifted and I finally figured out who I was as a person, and all of this darkness and film obsession kind of came to light, and I realised what my loves in life and what my purposes actually were. Sweeney Todd, if it wasn't for that film, I don't know where I'd be and I don't know who I'd be. That was phenomenal fun. I'm now going to go and make a playlist full of musical songs because they're perfect. I listen to musicals more than I listen to any other music genre. In fact, I don't really listen to any other music genre, I only listen to musicals. I would love for you to do this tag. Any musical recommendations, of course I'd love to hear them, and I'll speak to you all soon.